Sensitivity is intelligence. With grace and skill, you have abundance. Welcome to the Psychic Hour. Host Kelly Brickle is a psychic medium healer, numerologist, and teacher. Her passions are learning about the soul and energy. Whether it's through spirit, emotion, or vibrational numbers, there's always a pathway of information waiting to help. Now, here is your host of the Psychic Hour, Kelly Brickle.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Psychic Hour on WLTK-DB, Let's Talk Radio. I'm Kelly Brickle and welcome. We are doing a reading show today. So on Friday, we're going to be having our interview show and also another reading show. So like a little bit of double show because I will be out of town for a little bit the following week. So that's what we do, whether it's a Friday or a Wednesday, we always give you something, and sometimes we switcheroo, but most times, yes, we have interviews on Wednesday and readings on Friday. So the topic that I like to start with, and I hope you're having a great last day of your November, it's here. December's tomorrow. I hope you're having a great week and that you're welcoming that December energy to come because it's the final month of the year, the final month of 2022. And we're going to be coming into a 7-world year within numerology. And that's all about going within and contemplating what we really want to be and do with the new changes that come our way. And also what we've always wanted to be and cultivate despite the new changes, the eternal parts of ourselves that come forth, the truth that has always been with us and is surfacing. So it's going to be interesting as just the world progresses into next year, how very different it is compared to this year, because there's been a lot of upheaval and change and inflammation of, new thought patterns being tested and restricted and protested, and it'll be very interesting going forward. So what I wanted to talk about today, I wanted to talk about the world number apparently for some reason, but I also wanted to talk about psychic mediumship, and I think this is mentioned a lot, the whole phrase like you're born a medium or you develop into a medium. And everyone has conflicting kind of views on it. Ultimately, I believe that anyone, if they want to, can become a medium. I firmly believe that. Now, is it always going to be easy? No. Are some people naturally talented in it? Yes. Do some people have specialties within the way that their brain works or their personality works that helps to make things easier to learn or to adapt or pick up? Yes. I think that all psychic mediums are honestly fundamentally exactly the same. It's a soul doing soul work. It's a soul being perceptive of energy, either incarnate or discarnate. But, the individual has a certain set of personal struggles and specialties that shape them to be who they are. You can also say the entire development of their soul over lifetimes also gives them certain inclinations and particulars to make them who they are. So that goes back to a certain set of struggles and specialties that they've either cultivated or that they've brought forward in this lifetime. I do think it goes both ways. So think about it. Why is it's an argument. Playing baseball is very different than doing mediumship, but it's just like working with energy. It's just one energy is physical, the other energy is a more spiritual frequency. It's a higher vibrating frequency versus a lower vibrating, more dense frequency, the more physical aspect, the sports. And it's just Someone could be completely not even able to hit a baseball or throw a baseball, but with enough practice, they're able to understand how to use their energy. They're able to strengthen things about the way that they function. And so, will everybody want to be a baseball player? Will everybody want to be a psychic medium? No. Will people have interest in it? Yes. Will people go on to have it as a career? Maybe, So I think like a lot of times the argument is everybody made to be a psychic medium professionally? And it's just like, probably not. Just like I'm not going to be a baseball star professionally, right? And sometimes, yes, it is about how much you really want to devote yourself to being whatever you're striving to be, because some things just happen. And I want to encourage this within people within all walks of life. Sometimes things just happen and you're put into situations where the right people guide you, or maybe you have the right set of steps to get you to where you're going. And then there's other situations where maybe things are more difficult. Maybe you're lost. Maybe you don't have people guiding you. And so that doesn't strip away, are you supposed to be there? Should I be doing this? That never does. It's just sometimes there's obstacles in a certain set of circumstances that different people have to go to get to different places. And it's mostly because of the soul development, not because of the talent, skill, or interest in psychic mediumship development or the act of psychic mediumship. It's everyone's individual soul development. And so when people are differentiating, no, I don't think everyone's a medium. It's just like, as a soul, you get to choose what you develop and devote your time to, what you develop and devote your skills to. And so no one can say, because I believe in an infinite universe, the soul's potential is infinite. So how could we tell somebody that, sorry, you're just not cut out to do this? And really, this is very like spiritual, this work. So we have to spiritually account for what someone is able to do. And we just don't know. And I really wholeheartedly believe in that. We just don't know what people are capable of. Heck, I don't even know fully what I'm capable of. And the next person probably doesn't either. I would imagine so, because we are constantly evolving and growing our nature, growing ourselves. And that might be collectively what all souls are doing. Or maybe there is some great plan that the higher self does know about, or the universe, or God, or some collective knows about. And we have to make space for that. So when someone tells you in any form of capacity, yeah, not everyone's made to be a medium. Well, from your human perspective, maybe you can, deduce that, yes, not everyone is going to be doing this work frequently. Like, yeah, I agree with you. But from a different perspective, like, actually everyone is and can be. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. Hello, Casey. Hello, Kevin. Welcome. Welcome, everybody. And so, yeah, we're going to be doing readings in just a moment here. So if you have a question, or if you would like a general reading, I do numerology readings and card readings, and you just drop in that question or pop down your birth date. You don't even have to ask anything, but you have to say, yeah, I want to have a reading. And when you pop down your birth date, that usually means that. And I go into reading your energy. And if you're live with me, I kind of like, I'll ask you something to like, oh, does that make sense at times? I might do that as well. But everyone, I welcome to pop down your, yeah, okay. I welcome you to pop down your questions in the beginning, because towards the end, everyone, I'll continue to say this, towards the end, everybody comes in, and then I do not get to everybody. So excellent. So yeah, do it early. Do it early. So if you'd like a reading, just say if you'd like a card reading or numerology, or you can just say general, and we will go from there. And yeah, the last thing I'm going to say is I just believe that the soul's potential, like I said, is infinite. And I don't think we should ever box ourselves, or we shouldn't believe what someone has diagnosed for us in any capacity. Because I really do believe if you're not the typical healer, psychic, medium, whatever, if you're not the typical and you're not following the typical pattern, sometimes it's because we're wonky. Sometimes we need more stability in our life and we're maturing into what we're becoming. Sometimes that's real. Absolutely. More responsibility, maturity is needed. But also, it breeds complex possibility for teachings, learnings, and styles that are not yet out there. And as long as you're accurate, as long as you're with heart, as long as you're connected and you're helping other people and you're really getting consistent results, there has to be that truth and accuracy. Then, my goodness, other people are going to be really excited about what you are doing. Just stay devoted to your heart and the truth. And that's how I think, because everyone is in a box sometimes. So break free of your box and see what happens. Okay, so taking my drink of tea. I got some peppermint tea. It's a very, very hot tea. So if you're wondering why I'm like, oh, it's very hot. It has not cooled down yet. That's okay. All right. So Casey, you are first and you would like a general. So let's pull some cards for you. Okay. Okay, so I really like this. There's a lot of stuff going on in the cards. There's a lot to work with. And so the main cards that come up that need to have focus on, attention to, are the career card and also the summer song card. And so the career card / vocation card is devoting yourself to something that is really of your passion and your heart. And it doesn't have to be, I make money from this. It just has to be, I put my time and energy into this, and this is something that I am developing every week. So it's like a job that's not a job, unless you want it to be a job, and then your passions go into it just the same way. Okay, so it's time for something like that. It's time for a change like that, to take yourself more seriously. And you got the summer song card. So to balance that as well, because when that card comes up, it's letting you know that there needs to be more fun in your life. There needs to be more joy. There needs to be more adventure, excitement. So whether it's a nod to when you've worked in the past, you haven't balanced the fun and work ratio very well, and you've gotten overwhelmed or burnt out, or it's the time to create the fun, right, and to devote yourself to something you really believe in. So there's a nod to that in some way that comes out, like that needs to be looked at now. In the past, yeah, I feel like there's been like this gung-ho attitude, and you really do like try at things, but things aren't always what they seem. You've been hit with that energy. Things aren't always what they seem. And so it's offering you kind of this year, especially next year. I really like this year, like the end of next year, the end of this year into next year. That's what I'm saying. Is really the invitation. Like now is the invitation to really say, I have a clean slate. I'm not gonna let the old rules bind me. This is all about clean slate energy and really embracing that. And you're going into a personality and enthusiasm that's much more open and healing. So that comes in very strong, and that's really nice. And it's just like, I don't know quite how to do this yet, but I'm going to kind of trust. And then ultimately, I got the needing the friend card. And so whenever I see that card, it's just like we need more supports in our life. We need a greater support system, and we need to open ourselves up where people are able to find us. And we welcome people within our lives. We welcome people that we like, that we have common interests in, and we make ourselves known so we can cultivate some of that. And so going forward in the next couple of years, it's going to be more of I let more people into my life. I welcome more relationships because I'm changing as a person and I go about things differently. And it's a way that's healthier for me. It's a way that is more on my terms rather than I'm here and yeah, I guess I should be doing this. It's more on your terms. So that is what's coming up. Okay. Hopefully that resonates. And then let's see, Angela. Okay, Angela is next. And so I'm going to do a general with you, Angela. And hello, everyone else coming in, whether it's Shaylee or Kaden. If you would like to have a reading, just say, I want to have a reading. And you either pop your birthday down or you just say, I want to have a reading. And that gives you a general reading. Because I won't read you guys if you just say hello because I don't have your consent. But I'm seeing hello, so hello, hello. Hello, Christina. Thank you. Yes. So we're going to go to Angela, and then we're going to go to Anne Marie, and then we're going to go to Christina, and we're going to follow that trail. Okay? And then we're going to go to Shaylee. All right. Absolutely, Kaden. Yep, has to be. Okay. Okay, so Angela, you are next. Okay, so Angela, I got a lot of cards that deal with like really working on developing your energy, working on really taking care of yourself. I got the refocus the mind card, and I got like a communications card. So a lot of times that deals with like angelic communications or communicating with one's soul, or having more spiritual based understandings about how, you know, I need to commune with myself. I need to commune with something that's greater than myself. So that's going on right now. And in the past, you realized how like drained you were and how you were not like really physically taking care of your body, and again like overwhelmed. So I'm seeing like this balance scale, and it's just kind of turned on its head. So it's like right now you're really embracing like I'm taking care of myself and I'm doing these things, and I'm promoting zen. Like the feeling and vibe of zen is just like I'm doing this for myself. And it's going into the territory of the mastering your own fate card, which is great because that's all about scheduling and a bit of repetition and like building a project, right? And saying this is the course, and I am responsible from getting from the start to the finish line, and I'm going for that finish line. So it's great. And like that master of your fate card is upswinging into the love card. And so the love card is all about loving yourself and others. And on the card, it says it's as simple and difficult as that. So it's about, since I'm doing all these things to replenish myself, I have more to give. And the way I'm able to show up for people is incredibly different. Now I'm learning how to do that. I'm learning how to do that with family, showing up in a greater capacity because I'm really learning how to master a different set of skills within me. And I'm learning about what I need to have a more well-rounded life because certain things are missing. I didn't know certain things were missing always, but once I go, oh, yes, certain things were missing, then I step up and start incrementally taking this responsibility, because I feel like that's the type of person you are. You're like, once I get it, like I want to get there. I want to get there, and really to embrace that. And I think to celebrate that, whether it's in conversations with friends of like wellness and spirituality and empathy and emotional communications, that's a skill just like math. That's a skill just like cosmetology. I'm just thinking about all the examples, right? It's just we how can I put it? All these things can't be downplayed, and all these things have wealth and application, and it makes life more successful. All these things are worth their weight in gold, and with some skills we go to school, and with other skills we have to figure it out more so, I guess, through books or lectures or personal contemplation and zenning out, right? And so you are embracing um, this set of skills within life. And so I want to congratulate you, and I want you just to pass on the torch to the people around you and say, like, hey, this is not just about being nice. This is not just about, taking a break so you can feel good. It's so much more than that. This is your inner child. This is your past. This is how you can stimulate communication when you have hit a block within friends and family. This is how you can further your career because you're aware of nuances with how to cultivate and communicate relationships. So that's what I'm saying to you. Pass the torch, pass the torch. Okay. That's for Angela. Okay. And so who is next? Anne Marie is next, and she's giving me numbers. Excellent. Okay. Angela, I'm glad that makes sense. Thank you, thank you. Absolutely. I love it when things are on point. It makes me feel good. So I appreciate it. Heck yeah. Anne Marie. Okay, so you're 110, 1966. I always love that 1966. It's the year of the fire horse. The year of the fire horse. So when you have a fire horse energy, you have somebody who wants to do things with freedom, and they live a little bit more intensely. They're very fun personalities. Very fun, unique personalities that do things their own way. So I don't do like Chinese astrology a lot, but the fire horse is fun. Okay, so and Marie, we're going into your numbers. Your attitude is 2. Your personal day is 1. Your life path is, I believe, is 6. We will double check on that. 3, 4. Yep, that's correct. And then we are going into your cycle, and your cycle is you're an 8. Okay. So you're an 8, and you're coming up for December. You're in another cycle of 2. Got it. I'm just doing all the notes. All right. So for Anne Marie, since you asked for a general, I'm just going to go into your numbers. So your attitude is a 2. So this means like you're very naturally like you're a sensitive person is what I'm trying to say. And when people are sensitive, they're in this capacity, they're very emotional. They might keep more to themselves. They might be a little bit more diplomatic, right? But they're actually quite emotional and sensitive people. And so these are individuals that sometimes have to step away to regain their equilibrium or their center. And so I like to reference a lot, if you're at like a family reunion or a gathering or a party, you might spend a little bit more time in the bathroom than the average person, or you try to get away, like even to get a fresh, bit of air, because it can just be a bit much. So 2 people are very perceptive when it comes to emotions, and you're just naturally very empathetic too. So always use that to your advantage with others, and you do have your pulse quite well in the situation. especially with emotionally what people are going through and how they respond to things. And negotiations, I like that word for you. So you have a personal day 1, and so I like this too as well, because if ever you want to promote something, whether it's a project, an idea, or get people on board, people, and so this is not exactly like family and friends. It could be family and friends. This is people who like work with you, or like initially are like uh, attracted to your energy, but they don't have like all the history with you, right? This is your first initial impression. You have a leadership vibration. You have a 1, so you stand out from the crowd, and so it makes you noticeable, and it makes people intrigued, and it makes people feel like you have a uniqueness and a strength behind that uniqueness. So always use that to your advantage, because whether you're, volunteering or doing something and you need help or you need someone to be on board, people are more likely to say yes to you because you have that strength and that uniqueness that stands out. You're a life path 6, and when someone's a life path 6, they have an immense devotion to family or creating their friendships to be like family. You like to include everybody, and you're very, very protective with those relationships, and you're very generous. You go out of your way for the people that you do have the true connections with, and people feel very like safe in that. Honestly, very, very safe in that. So the life path 6 is all about service, and it's about like maternal service, usually in a way where you're helping, healing, guiding, um, and taking on enormous responsibility in the name of a cause or to help others, whether it's friends or family or work. You're just like, this is my responsibility. I really stand behind it and stick behind it. And so, as long as you're utilizing that approach to your life, wherever you go, it's not just career, you will feel like, wow, I feel really fulfilled. I feel like I'm putting my all into something I believe in, and people have to say thank you at the end of the day to you. As long as they're saying thank you, as long as they're appreciating and recognizing you, that's all you need sometimes. As you have to feel like connected to the place too as well, but that's all you need additionally. You're in a cycle 8. So anytime I see someone in a cycle 8, I say, hey, it's a little bit of a tricky year. It can reap great rewards, but it can also highlight great setbacks. Because 8 is like, what do I have to really fix and work on? It's a little bit of a perfectionist number. What do I have to really work on to maintain my success or to give me what I want in life? And what happens is that 8 brings up consequence and truth. The 8 goes, okay, we're going to like mirror back what you need to fix, or we're going to make you stumble, and you're going to look at things that you normally would overlook. And for that goes into health too as well. And so anything that's been overlooked in the body really surfaces. So I always say, cycle 8, go to a doctor, get a checkup, just see that you're up to date. And because 8 is all, it's physical, it's material, it deals with the body, it deals with material things. So it deals with money, the body, it deals with visual stimuli, tactile things that you can create and manifest, but physically create in your hands. And the body is a physical thing, so you have to be very, very attentive to it at this time. Okay, so that's what comes up within the general read. The last thing I'll say is you are in a cycle of 2 for this upcoming month. So that's December. So for the month of December, you are a 2 energy. And so this month you're ending on a 1. So for November. So November could have been a little bit busy, a little bit crazy, a feeling like, I have a little more time to execute kind of the things that I've been wanting to do. And it could be like a refreshment, and excitement for certain things. But 2 is all about like, hey, let's kind of review what I really want to do going forward, and it's going to take you to your past, and it's also going to kind of trickle things up within you to look at things, not only what's in front of you physically that we talked about and within the body, and things going on and shaping themselves, but actually emotionally what's surfacing within you too. And the past is going to creep up to help release that. And you might feel very triggered at times going into December, but ultimately welcome, embrace, and release. And it's going to bring some great insight. So December is going to be quite a unique month for you, more emotional, but it could be incredibly releasing. Okay. So giving that to you, and that is Anne Marie. And I'm glad you can understand. Yes. Okay, great. And so let's see who's next. I think Christina's next. Okay, Christina. So she wants a general reading. Okay, cool. And then it's Shaylee after that. Thank you, Anne Marie. Thank you. Have a great day too. I appreciate it. Okay. Okay. So, all right. I'm just clicking everything on my computer apparently. This is for Christina. So I got the times are changing card. And so you know this. This is something that's been very stark and understood. Times are changing, and you are preparing yourself to go into the unknown and also constructing a plan at the same time. Hope that makes sense. But the times are changing card, I feel like, is very fully embraced of like, okay, here I am. I'm going forward. I'm changing things. And it's all about kind of embracing life in a new way. It's embracing life to the capacity that you're going to have more fun. It's embracing life that you're taking responsibility for who you are in a different way. You're just like, not the same, not the same. It's difficult because when times are changing, we feel like our footing is slipping. Our footing is slipping, and we're like, how do I do this? How do I do that? And it's a mixture of sometimes I'm using the word overwhelmed a lot, but it's true. Like I feel like people are overwhelmed in general. So you'll hear me using that word a lot. And so sometimes when we're overwhelmed while we're changing, we go, I'm not that I'm quitting, but I need to just take a break from this and I need to relax. And I just need to not think about this for a while. And it's letting me know that there's inconsistencies with that. So it's like I go through periods where I know I'm changing and I'm doing something different because this year it's just I've been forced to this point. Okay, but it's like the ups and downs of that. The ups and downs of that. Sometimes I'm really believing that I'm taking the bull by the horns, and other times I feel like I'm just going to just walk away from it and I don't want to think about it. And so it's letting me know of there needs to be like an acceptance and a healing of, I'm doing enough. I'm doing enough. And I'm just going to have faith in the process. I don't know how, but I just have to accept that I'm doing enough and to not completely it's almost like that overwhelming feeling leads back to kind of like blowing a gasket when things are not going as planned. So it feels like, I don't know if it's quite working. I don't know if it's quite working. But the answer to all that is yes, it is. And not every plan is something you can track. And your plan is accelerating forward. So just please know that you can't track the speed, but it's accelerating forward. Okay. So just instead of, I guess, giving up at times or being overwhelmed, I think that's a better word, just overwhelmed, just kind of have faith in yourself. I think that's like a really important thing that is very much coming through. Let me get one more card to clarify that. Okay. And it's just about kind of the refocus the mind card comes up. And it's like, hey, I really think like I want something like physical for you. Like meditation is like more mental based. Yes, there's physical benefits, but it's like some type of physical activity like yoga. I don't know if it's walking or a sport. You can get involved in something physical where you can use your body and go like, okay, when I'm overwhelmed, I have this, and it gets me like back into the game. It gets me clear, it revitalizes me, and I feel like I have a tool to remind myself like I'm just keeping on pedaling. And so that's what really the number one theme is coming into play. I wish it's had a more fancier element to it, but it's just keep pedaling, just keep going, and know that not everything success doesn't have one look. Solutions and accomplishment do not have a one size fits all. And so you are accomplishing things, you are moving towards success, and you're having all these things. It's just be patient and accept. Okay. And just trust. All right. That is what's coming in. And that's for Christina. And Shaylee is next. Okay. Shaylee. Kaden is after Shaylee. Cool. All right. Shaylee gave me her numbers. Okay. So we got a 3, 16, 1984. Shaylee is an attitude 1, and personal day 7, and a life path 5, I believe. Yep, that's right. So, and then she's in a cycle of 7 and a month cycle of 1. Okay. So Shaylee, I love when I see an attitude 1 because I can just confidently say, like, if anyone is ever pressing upon you to do something that you don't want to do, you're just like, I'm not going to do it. Like, attitude 1 people are very concrete in what makes them happy or what they prefer, at least. And they speak their mind. Or they just kind of, you can't sway them. So that's great, because if you have that in life, you're very protected in a lot of ways. So I always celebrate that. You have a personal day 7. So when you have a personal day 7, first impression to others, you may seem cerebral, a little bit quieter to yourself. But that is on the first initial impression, and they would find actually, wow, your life path 5, like, you are actually super fun, lots of variety. You're quick as a whip. You're very smart. You pick things up very fast, and you like to do things fast. You like to get a lot of things done. Okay, so that's great too, because away you go, right? You're in a cycle of 7, so this is actually great for you, but it does require a lot of patience at times. Like, patience reaps great rewards, because the 7 that you're in this year is very harmonious with the rest of your chart. So it creates, like, honestly very wonderful surprises that you go, wow, okay, great, this year, like, I'll take this year, right? You celebrate it. And so in that cycle 7, what happens is you need to redefine how you approach your life and to uncover the real parts of yourself that you've suppressed, and go, where do I want to go next? And this is like for your mind and your spirit. Okay. This gets your mind clear. This gets your spirit attuned and connected to. And you go into next year actually, like, with the energy again. I'm saying clean slate for certain people because they feel different things about their life, okay? But you go into next year, I feel like, with quite a clean slate, because a lot has been rectified. And you go in with that clean slate to try to actually have, I really feel like, you're trying to cultivate more money than you ever had. So there's some type of career explosion or redirect that happens, that's being prepared for now, that is happening for next year, where you go, I get it, I got to do more of that, and I'll be continuing to course correct for next year, but everything's really aligned to get off the ground, and I'm ready to have it happen. And so I like that for next year. It's really good. So it's a great money making year for you next year, and I feel like things are aligned to do that. Cycle one, you're in the month of, you're going into you're in a cycle of, what am I trying to say? You're in a cycle of 9 right now. So for you, and this is for Shaylee, this month has been a little bit difficult. It's dealt with family. Been a month of family, and a month of like really kind of feeling like you are just pulled in a bunch of places, and you're like, where's the time for me? Where's the time for me? And I feel like that is coming up for December a little bit more, because you're in a 1. Okay, so December helps breed that, gosh, I have my clean slate, I have my fresh mind, let's go and attack things. So that's what comes up. Go get them. Go get them. All right, I hope that makes sense. And Kaden, you are next. Awesome. Kaden. Just writing down your numbers. So your attitude 4, you're a personal day 3, and you're a life path 6, I believe. Let's double check that. Yep. And then you are in a cycle of 1 and a month cycle of 3. Month cycle of 4, actually. Ooh, that's why we double check the math. Okay. And that is for December coming up. And so, Kaden, when I see attitude 4, I always emphasize it's great to be organized. It's great to be organized, because our attitude number is the way we perceive things. It's the way we communicate. It's the way we are when we're like most content, that vibration. So for you, it's the 4. And so to be actually quite content, you have to be organized. You have to be methodical. You have to be a planner, and you have to be in that energy in order to not feel like you're neurotic. Okay. Because what happens is it gives everything a space to function optimally for you. And so other people need more openness, and other people need more specificness, and you need more specificness. And it honestly, like, I really say this to everybody. Sometimes people need more openness and chaos because it allows them to hyper focus, right? And then other people need more specificity, because it allows them to then actually hunker down and to springboard out into this creative openness. So you see how, we're all returning to this place of balance. We're all returning to this place of feeling flexible and clear. And so some people need different starting points for that. So reminding you of how that's important. You have a person day 3. When you have a 3 vibration, it's kind of known as the friendliest energy in numerology, that 3, especially in the placement you have it. So it invites people to approach you and ask you just random questions, because they feel like, that 3 energy, this person is more open to socializing. This person is more open to accepting just if I open the door and have a chat or I have a question. The 3 is a very fun vibration. It's a very, it's like comedic. It's uplifting. It's entertaining. So it's not about pressure. It's very about like, hey, sure. And I think a lot of people need help in life. And I like to give an example, like at the grocery store, like if you're with a friend, you'll more likely get approached. that first initial impression. It's not when people come to know you, because they will form different opinions of who you are as a person. It's like when people are just meeting you for the first time. So with that 3 energy, whether you're at a party, someone asks you a question in the grocery store, or when you're out, you will most likely get the question, because you have that 3 carefree fun energy. So, and then life path 6. So, when I see a life path 6 with somebody, I always encourage them, in order to be fulfilled, you have to live your life within group mentality styles. Yeah, 6 is all about service, and usually that service is a very responsible and protective vibration of that. Like, I stand by this, so I'll work really hard for it. I will commit myself to the cause, right? And so when I see a 6, if anyone wants to be very independent in going their own way, they almost have to, start a club or a school or some type of class to invite people and get people excited and to get people to come together. 6 people are great with cultivating community, whether it's sprouting the idea for others, or helping someone else who actually has already community, and you bring more people together because of that. The 6 feels immensely fulfilled with that group um, vibration. So really invite that into your life. If you feel sometimes like severing ties or something, um, that's warranted, okay, but really don't burn bridges. Purify, forgive, and don't isolate. Like, start again, refresh the energy. However it is, let it be, but invite and interact and socialize. It's really good for your energy. So you're in a cycle of 1 this year, and it is about new ideas, new beginnings. And so it's great because this year and going forward, really for the next 4 years, you get to play by a fresh set of rules. What happened into your life before, it does not define what is happening with these upcoming years. If you had any challenges, a lot of them have been changed. The rules have changed. Okay. So it's just reminding you that really just put yourself out there, get a group of people together. It's needed. You're in a month of 4 coming up for December. And that is always good to refocus on the home life, and we're focusing on schedules. We're focusing on what kind of routines do I need to be successful, and how do I feel like my environment supports me. Okay. That is the question coming up for this month into December, and for next year, truly. Yeah, I'm gonna give that to you. So, all right. Just gonna check into Emery. Oh, thank you, Emery. I appreciate it. Let's see, Kaden. I don't know if I'm supposed to put out intention there, but if so, I just feel stuck. Yeah, you absolutely. Always put out intentions. You don't have to overthink intentions. Intentions are what you're striving for with your energy. Always put out intentions, absolutely, and just touch back with your intentions, because we're supposed to be defining our intentions with life. Because if we were really clear about our intentions, actually we could like manifest, and maybe another word, we could cultivate, and we could strive for things actually quite clearly, because the mind is unobstructed. It's clearly of, I'm going for this, and this is what I feel strongly in. So you have to put out intentions, and what happens is, whether you get results a certain way to recalibrate and redefine, or whether within meditation and contemplation, you're like, actually, I want more of this. Actually, this would make me more happy. Actually, I want this because I've been told that it's a good idea, but really, I'm more like this type of person. So you get really clear with yourself. So please work on your intentions. And I really think that you need to be a part of a group, and also shaping a group of your own going forward. But yes, please don't isolate. Please don't, because your energy really needs to be around people. You're that life path 6. Um, let's see. See, Christina was saying, thank you. First time tuning in. I appreciate the message. Just what I needed to hear. Thank you so much. And thank you, Caden, very, very much. And Chaylee, yes. You're welcome. You're welcome. So sometimes the messages will be very specific, and sometimes it's in the energy of what you've been going through or what you've been considering, and it's just validation in like if you would like to have more clarity with sometimes the confliction of your feelings. Well, I'm talking about your feelings. I'm talking about what paths I'm encouraging you to go forward, whether with certain numbers or certain things coming up within the cards. Don't overthink it. Just know I need to go towards this way. I need to go towards this way. And once you're in it, I encourage you to think more about it. But if you're not actually going, you're going to stop yourself from going. If you haven't actually arrived, you might dice up how you arrive. You're like, maybe this, maybe that. No, arrive, be there, and go, okay, I'm here. Now I've learned that this is not for me. Now I've learned that this is for me. Now I learned that I like a part of this, not all of this. And problem solved. Problem solved. A lot of the things that we contemplate, we stop ourselves from receiving the answer because we think, I just got to get it right before I know myself. I have to, really know what I want to do. If I'm really going to devote myself to something, and it's just like, yeah, I love that. I totally love the devotion for the truth of the matter. If you touch base with yourself regularly, you're going to cultivate that, like I said, and define it, and you have to have that relationship with yourself. But if you're not going within, what happens is then you have to go and devote yourself for honoring what was in your mind or in your heart, and go out and see what happens when you do it. Because I promise you, the people who are creating and manifesting their lives and having success in their lives, they just went to go find the answer. They didn't overthink it. They just went to go find the answer. They're like, I have an idea. And it could be the worst idea ever. But a part of them was like, I need to be here. And they go and they set foot in that place, and they're just like, wow, this was a horrible idea. But now I know that I never need to concern myself with that again. Think about how much time that has saved him or her. Think about how much time of thinking about, should I be doing this? I don't know. I'm not sure if I should go this direction. They just freed up hours and hours of possible combinations of, well, maybe this, maybe that. They're just like, no, I'm going to go look that way. And then they end up in that department. They end up in that situation. They go, yeah. Or they go, nope, I freed up a bunch of more hours. All those no's free up hours and hours of your time, and all the yeses just make you more laser focused. So I'm a fan of thinking. I love to think. Oh, I love it. But when we overthink, woof, we stop production. We just do. Okay. So let's see. We got one more. I think Barbara. It's Tina and Barbara are on the same time. So I'll pull for Tina and Barbara really quick, and we'll go on that note. And see, going to the end. Let's see. Hello, Christina and Facebook user. One more time. What's 347? What's 347? I was probably talking about some numbers. Earlier. It will be in the playback because I'm talking about a lot of different numbers. So you have to give me a little bit more specific. And yes. Okay. And then hello to Facebook user as well. So let's see. Tina and Barbara, we will do a quick one. And Barbara gave me her. I'm going to do Barbara's numbers really quick, and then we'll end on Tina. That's how we'll do it. So Okay. Okay. 11/17/1952. That's Barbara. And so you're in attitude 1, personal day 8, and life path 7, life path 9, I believe. Double checking. 8. Yep. Your life path 9, and you're in a cycle of 7. Okay, so Barbara, you have the attitude of 1, so you're very firm in your beliefs. You're very certain of what you want to go about, and that's great. I always want to highlight that. The 1s are unique. They step to their own beats, and they can't be swayed. And so that actually has helped a lot, I would imagine, within your life, because you're life path 9, because 9, they can be the opposite of the 1s, where they are very naturally just humanitarianism energy, and they want to help others. They go their way. They find themselves in situations where they're just like, oh, wow, people are asking a lot of me. Yeah, it is a nice thing to do, or maybe the right thing to do in some capacities, but I have to really look out for myself. And so it helps temper that. It really does. The combination of 9 and 1 actually makes for fantastic leadership energy. 9 is the natural leader that denies that they are, and 1 really pioneers that thoughts are led clearly and that things are definitive. So actually, in that personal day energy that you have of the 8 makes you a very capable candidate as well. An 8 energy looks very sturdy. It looks very reliable. It even looks confident. I'm not saying that you always feel those things, but that's the energy that's sent out to people as an 8 on first impression. So eight's actually a very interesting number to talk about. But you have the 1, the 8, and the 9s, and all of those are fantastic, successful in leadership numbers. So you look really good on paper. So know that you're in a cycle of 7. So it is a time to really just give yourself some extra, how can I put this? Some extra space without all the plans. To really just spend time for you. When you're in a cycle 7, there is a funny knack for plans getting canceled, whether you're canceling the plans or someone else is canceling the plans. Things don't go to schedule because there needs to be emphasis on going within. There needs to be emphasis on what do you really want in life, and to really look at things. And you have to have time for that. You have to have peace of mind, peace of space for that. So I want to give you that in just going forward with the rest of the year. Honestly, it will help with so much, and it will give you answers to what's coming up for next year, rather than kind of just like running. How can I put this? It's like kind of like rather than running with the bull of life of, okay, we're there, we're that. It's the invitation to slow things down. That's the invitation very strongly. And then Barbara, I'm gonna pull. Oh, excuse me, Atina, I'm gonna pull a card for you, and then we will end on that note. Haha, yes, thank you very much. Excellent. Thank you, Barbara. Yep. So take it seriously. Slow down. If you have to, spa it up. Sometimes we show up at another person's place, whether it's a wellness center, spa, salt cave, wherever, massage, so they can leave the room and we just go, whatever it takes. Okay. Tina. Ooh, I like this. Tina, so what's coming into play for you is the invitation to work on your mediumship more. You really have this unknown potential at play. You really have a moment of flexibility within your life where you can dive into a new pathway, a new skill. And so it's just the encouragement from spirit to come and be guided by teachers, mentors, and by your own experience, whether it's from a book or meditating and sitting within the power. There's a tremendous tip of hat and openness and welcomeness into the world of mediumship. So that's what comes up for you. Got the mediumship card. Tina, I hope that resonates. And thank you everybody for being here today. We got a lot done. We got a lot of people read for. It's always a pleasure. It's always fun. And please just, whether it's a playback or however you take it with you, things came up in my energy, connecting to your energy. The trinity at hand was spirit, you and me. We all danced together with our energy in a certain way, and there's a reason why these things were said. And so just take it to heart, and don't take what I have to say to heart word for word. Just take what those feelings of reminders and ahas and oh yes, that sparks something within me to heart. Because if it's sparking something within you, the truth is rising within you to be seen, to be remembered, to be activated within your life, the spark of life. So with that said, thank you, Kevin, and thank you, Tina. Thank you, Barbara. Thank you for everyone coming, and I'm going to invite you for Friday. We're going to have a double show. We're going to have a reading show again, and we're going to be with Debbie Romero, interviewing her with her mediumship journey. So that's at 1 p.m. Pacific and 3 p.m. Central, and then we'll go 2 shows starting after that. Please go with luck, light, love. Gosh, we have other stuff coming up. I'll mention it on Friday. Mediumship demonstration. I got some mediumship demonstrations coming up, so please join us for that. And please, yes, don't forget to live, everybody. Goodbye. See you soon.
The truth is here and now on WLTK-DB Talk Radio at WLTK-DB.com.